Ooh, hello.
Yo, yo.
Welcome back to the Pause Menu Podcast. I am your host, Oscar Okechukwu, and I'm joined by me today by two really great co-hosts. You care to introduce yourself, guys, for the people who don't know, they're not on the wave yet. So,
Sir, I'm Kelechi. I am the host brother. Here to have a good time. Talk about some games.
Yes, sir. And I'm Sam, and we out here. Just young brown men talking about games.
young brown men talking about games. That's what I like to hear. So,
Yes, sir.
we got a plethora of good topics to discuss with you guys. We're just gonna jump straight into it because for people giving background context, this is late at night that we're hopping in the stew for this one. We care for sure.
We're cooking for you guys.
And yeah, that's why
We didn't have to cook. We're cooking for y'all.
As I say, we are cooking for y'all. That is it. All right, so looking at this real quick, we all know that Akira Toriyama passed very recently.
Rip the goat.
As recent time of this recording, and we all kind of privately off the pod said what he meant to us just as a creator. And honestly, just as an icon in the anime industry. Even if you weren't such a huge Dragon Ball fan specifically, I know that none of us here, Dragon Ball is really our favorite anime or manga anymore. But it was one of our first. It's inspired a lot of the works that we really
Definitely
enjoy.
felt his influence in literally everything, bro.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give us kind of like the space to talk about that, like what kind of Akira Toriyama. I know we all didn't know him, but what kind of he meant to the stuff we enjoy. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, it's been kind of wild for me, right? Because I'm not even, like, the biggest Dragon Ball fan. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Dragon Ball. The experience of watching Dragon Ball Super for me was what watching Kai was for you guys.
Yeah.
Because, like, I didn't really grow up with Dragon Ball. I got into anime, 2014, I want to say, something around that. 2013, 2014, around that time. And so I got into Dragon Ball later. But, like, of course I knew about it growing up. Everyone knew about Dragon Ball growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember I actually got into the manga first because I was trying to connect with some of my younger brothers, like Toby and Damien Femi them. So, like, I was, okay, let me just start reading this because, like, they're talking about it and I want to watch Super. And, like, reading it for the first time was so fun. I really fell in love with, like, just the world and the characters, and the fights were all hype. I remember, like, I was literally on a trip in Florida with my family, and I couldn't, like, get my hands on the rest of the physical volumes I needed, so I just bought them online on my Kindle and just read them there. But, like, even aside from Dragon Ball, it's really crazy thinking about, like, how much, like, Toriyama influenced from, like, games to like streetwear to just popular culture to just art. Like it's not even an exaggeration to say that dude's gonna be among the greats. Like in the same breath as someone thinks about someone as seminal as like a Leonardo da Vinci, I'm not even kidding. I really believe Toriyama's gonna be up there.
Yeah.
Think about all the people he's inspired to start doing art. Think about all the different people he's inspired in all of their crafts. When the mangaka were coming out, dog. When Oda was talking about this dude,
And people already consider Oda to be up
the
there.
GOAT,
When
man.
Kishimoto
people
was
consider
up
him to be
there?
the GOAT. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
yeah.
no, it's like you can't even. I don't think you can even quantify the amount of people that like his influence has like impacted in some way, bro. When I read online that like Osamu Tezuka himself. So this is Osamu Tezuka was pretty much the father of manga. For those of you who don't know, in post World War II, it was like American cartoons that really inspired him to start drawing comics.
Disney
And
cartoons,
from
yeah.
exactly, and so from like Astro Boy, we got stuff like we got like his stuff. We got a lot of the
he do
older
Kimba?
cartoons. I think he did Kimba as well.
Okay,
He
I was
might
gonna
have.
say, yeah.
Fact check me on
I
that. I
rocked
might
with
not be
Kimba a
right,
lot back
but
in the
like,
day.
dude, it's just like without him, we wouldn't have anime or manga at all as it is right now. You wouldn't have Tokusatsu or any of the Super Sentai shows, which means you wouldn't have Power Rangers. You wouldn't have Transformers. You wouldn't have any of these things. And for him to be telling Toriyama, you're the next up, like from the Western perspective,
All Might pose,
think,
you know what I'm
dude,
saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
huge.
from like the Western perspective, think about like J.R.R. Tolkien saying, you're the next fantasy guy. Think about that. That's insane.
Yeah.
And so it's just like,
I think the thing that really drives it home is just like so many of the mangas that we know just being like captured by the same childlike wonder
yes,
that we
dude.
have. It's like Oda and Kishimoto, they
They
too
were
were like,
geeking.
That's
I'm
what
waiting
blew
for
me the
that
most.
Like they were like,
I
I would
was
go after
like-
school and wait for that new Dragon Ball. I was like,
Yes.
I was coming after school and waiting for that new Kai episode. I was
Literally.
like,
we share
fact
that.
that
Yeah,
his
it's just
peers-
insane.
That's what blows me. The fact that his peers was like, I was, I got inspiration from you.
Literally,
I put you in my manga.
You'll
Like,
always
I
know
was
how
like,
someone feels about a man by what his peers have to say
Yeah.
about
That's what
him.
I'm saying.
I was like, that was phenomenal. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of people was giving him his flowers, but that means to me that means so much
Yeah,
because that's his friends, like close people that are
those
close
are
to
the
him.
people that shape the industry.
Yeah.
It's like it was wild. Like, and it's like a weird kind of segue, but it's wild hearing about that when it's been like 2 or 3 months since my grandma passed away, right? And I remember being at the funeral and hearing like all the stuff people were saying about her. How like she was someone who like for my mom, she taught her a lot of patience and how to like let go of things, a lot of how to just be a person, how to manage her emotions. And I remember sitting there and being like, man, I really want to like have people say stuff like that about me. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like I can't give back to my grandma anymore. I was there for her when I could be, and I'm really thankful for all the memories we shared, but I can't like give back to her. You know what I'm saying? The best way I can honor that memory is by like carrying on what she taught me. And so like in the light of someone like Toriyama dying, someone who's like literally impacted everything that I like as a person. Like, you know me, I like games. Do you know how many games have been impacted? Remember when they were like opening up about how like we wouldn't even have Final Fantasy if it wasn't for Toriyama? Literally. Do you know how many games and people
You're a
have been
Dragon Quest
impacted
fan? Like,
by Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest?
and even just too, like,
Dude.
looking at it like for me personally, just looking at something where it's like, even like when your nation celebrates you, like it's like a different type of feeling because like the Dragon Quest games when they come out, like it's an event in Japan. Like even same thing with even Final
People
Fantasy.
take off work,
16 came
y'all.
out, yeah, people were like businesses were closing, people were taking off work just to play Final Fantasy 16. It's like to be a part of something that is so highly celebrated. Is like, I mean, even just to like, you just think about like how when Ultra Instinct came out and just like aside from it breaking the internet, like. The fact people were in bars, pubs, like in their town squares,
things that only sports is on the level of uniting people at, bro.
Like, that's just something different.
That's wild.
Man. Like,
and so, like thinking about that legacy, it's just like I was really hit the day that we found out he passed because I'm like, how am I supposed to give back in any sort of way? Because I didn't know Toriyama. None of us knew him for real. It's like, how do you take this legacy that this person has given to you in some small way? He didn't know he was giving it to me like this. He didn't know he was doing
in
this
his
for
eyes.
all
He was
of us.
just was just creating art.
He was just making comics,
I
dude.
was gonna say he was making what he liked, bro.
Yeah.
Dr. Slump, like it started out the same way. He was just I just want to do what I like. Dragon Ball, he was like I like Journey of the West. I'm gonna do something.
Literally,
like, it's just it's crazy, man.
it's wild. So like, yeah, that's
and the fact that even as an old man too, like. He just wanted to keep making stuff because he had so many unfinished works by the time of his death. Like it just showed that like he wasn't just like, oh, I made my money, I'm good.
That's
like
what
he
I'm
was
saying,
like,
dude.
I do this because I like being a creative, like and like for him to mentor other creatives too.
Literally.
Like we talk about Oda and Kishimoto, but like the direct person he was mentoring, Toyotaro, and just like how he was like excited to mentor him and how like because I used to read all the DBS like before the chapter things. And how Toriyama would repeatedly tell Toyotaro, like, dude, like you're good, man. Like, I really want to. One thing I want to teach you is to be confident in what you do, because like I like what you do. And Toyotaro said that meant a lot to him, because like he literally said he wanted to be Toriyama, like as a kid. Yeah. Like, and that's just like, that's just different, man.
It's crazy. One of your biggest mentors just telling you that, like that's mind-boggling. Yeah. I think for me, like. Going back to when me and Oscar used to watch like Dragon Ball at Saturday, Sunday, didn't matter. It would show up on, whatever it was, Cartoon Network or not Cartoon Network. It was on
Nicktoons.
Nicktoons. It was on Nicktoons. Whatever it was, Dragon Ball. See, we actually watched I think Kai first, and then we went back to watch Dragon Ball.
Went back,
and then then we just started catching up from there. And I think Dragon Ball. It wasn't my first anime. It was one of the first, like I would say 10. That I watched when I was a kid, besides like Yu-Gi-Oh! And a bunch of other stuff. But like there was the first shonen where I genuinely was like, I want to follow everything about shonen. I'm a shonen guy, shonen till I die. I was like, that was the first time I was like, shonen is what really got me like, this is what at the core anime is like. It's about,
overcoming
friendships,
struggle,
overcoming
persevering,
struggles,
Yeah, your
character
goals,
development,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
overcoming
you
your
know,
limits too.
Yeah, characters even passing away and clinging to certain characters that you like. And how many times we see that trope all the time? There's so many different tropes that came from Dragon Ball. And talking about influence is an understatement.
Literally
In schools, like you said, streetwear.
Yes, dude.
How people like. Come on, man. I mean,
world if you didn't have Dragon Ball,
literally,
man.
dude. I was watching a video. I think it was Watch Mojo. It was like the top 10 most influential scenes in anime.
Yeah.
And I think they had Super Saiyan in like number 2 or something like
Goku
that.
turning Super Saiyan the first time.
But there was the number one point was kind of it was like something that like started like I don't know, something very influential.
Was it the Akira slide?
It might have
Because
been.
it might
which is up there. It's very up there.
It's
Very
up
up there.
It's and whatever your favorite piece of media is,
They reference
they
it.
probably reference it in some obscure way.
Exactly. Seeing the compilations that would be like 5 minutes long of just like different media franchises that have like referenced the Akira slide is kind of awesome. I love that.
But like just seeing how even 20, 30 some years later, still having Goku go Super Saiyan as number 2 anime moments of all time.
Literally.
I mean, we talk about like a genre, manga and anime and just like Japanese art is so big now. To have Dragon Ball at the core.
Literally.
We talk about the father of shonen. Like, it's very fitting that that is, it gave birth to a lot of shows, like, and that's what got me to Naruto, Bleach, every shonen I've watched, for real. Every single shonen. I'm a sucker for fairy tale. I'm a sucker for like, friendships and camaraderie.
Some cool power buffs.
Some raw power ups, man. I'll eat that up all. Don't get me wrong. Like, yes, it's not my, it's not like Oscar said. It's not my favorite like right now, but it's always a show where I'm like, I can go back to and I'll love.
Exactly.
We watch Super together. And when there's a new transformation coming out, just close the buildings down, man.
The way we were all popping off during the Tournament of Power.
Man. I was watching that during school. I remember I was in my desk and I was watching was it Topo? I think it was Topo versus like Vegeta.
versus Topo? Yeah.
I was literally like this and looking up and I'm like, I'm doing homework. I had to put it down because I'm like, this it's getting too much, man.
That's
I was like, this is insane.
The first time we saw Ultra Instinct, dude,
bro,
when that theme kicked in,
I was like, what? We can go on and on with Kefla. When
that Kefla fights.
I mean,
it's coming back. Like, I got a whole poster in my room of this,
bro,
just the Resurrection
man. The first time that we saw Frieza again,
I know.
That first meeting,
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, dude, I remember being so because I'm like, I was craving Dragon Ball content. I'm like, this is what I need.
And there really was a period of time where I was really. I feel like we all had that when you were following all the DBZ YouTubers.
Oh yeah,
when you were craving it, man. Because I remember it was around the time Battle of Gods was coming out.
Yes, bro. All them leaks.
We might be getting
all of.
That's what I'm saying.
So many leaks coming out every
when I was
day.
watching Rhyme Style every day, when I was watching Geekdom 101 all the time, Quaman,
yes, bro.
Super Saiyan K, not Super Saiyan 9K, dude.
Yeah, SSJ 9K, yeah.
It was literally a time. I got it. I was getting into so many more Dragon Ball games, like Xenoverse 1 and 2.
Xenoverse 1 and 2.
I was playing that. I went to go play like some of the Game Boy games that were
Legacy of Goku.
I need to play Legacy of Goku.
1 and 2.
Yep.
There's a bunch. There's
I was so much time in Xenoverse 1. That's
crazy. Not say
crazy.
Budokai Tenkaichi.
Yeah, Budokai Tenkaichi.
Yeah.
I just got Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on the Steam Deck, so I was trying to. I haven't played a lot of it yet, but it's.
Yeah, I just got one for the PS2. So.
Let's go, man.
It's just so many memories and core experiences that I've had with other people.
Literally.
I mean, just the hype around it and the influence it has on just transformations in anime.
And that's like just the shared experience with people is just what gets me, y'all. Because it's just like when I think of like, dude, when I think about like media franchises that I've enjoyed with people, the first ones I think of are Dragon Ball. I'll think of specifically watching Infinity War and Endgame with the guys.
Yeah, Infinity.
Also,
Invincible.
yes, Invincible. Exactly. But it's just like,
but
dude, it's just like stuff that like, no. When Black Panther first came out,
and
you could see any black person, and you could go,
just go,
and they would do it back.
It would just be random.
Listen,
it's so funny.
But it's like, dude, like it's just, it is still so crazy to me that someone who's literally like across time zones, across the ocean, across cultures, wrote a thing that affected my entire hobby space.
Yeah,
all of it has been affected by Dragon. Literally, dude.
Yeah, like.
Gave birth to
legacy-
so many YouTubers. Gave birth to so many content creators.
That's what literally fed families, like
Yeah.
quite literally fed
Legitimately.
families.
It fed families.
So it's like I don't even. I wonder like how do we? And I guess that's where I'm at in like this stage of like the grieving process or whatever. Like how do you give back in any sort of way? Like how do you honor that legacy? I don't know.
I really
man.
think it's continuing to let that kind of move you and inspire you in a way. Because talking a little bit about Toriyama is like Dragon Ball it had a vicious chokehold on me as a kid. Because like I would just remember those moments like, and when I think about moments of my childhood that I really enjoyed, like I mean, I always have stuff like getting my DS for the first time, like
3DS.
Starting 5th grade or 6th grade or something like. But like I always remember watching Gohan versus Cell with you,
Facts,
bro.
man.
Like just like the
the
sun,
living
the
room,
sun is
bro.
set in the living
Yeah.
room.
I
Every
remember.
single week being like, that's it. Like,
Yeah,
oh
no,
my goodness,
that's
I gotta come
wild.
back. They're about to finish the fight next week. Like,
what was even
like-
better was even watching Goku on Planet Namek. I remember
Yes.
that vividly too,
Yes.
and I'm like, oh my gosh! And when
Yes.
Goku first went super,
even,
I
even
can't
just-
explain.
Even when Goku
you,
was
bro.
sidelined with the heart virus
Yes,
against the
bro.
androids.
Yes.
I was over there as a kid. I was sitting there.
I was shook.
like, I was like,
Bro.
what's going on, bro?
I couldn't explain to you when Gohan for the first time in Cell Saga teed up. I was like, this is changing. This is generational. Like this is insane. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Those TikTok sounds where it's like, I think it's it might be Dick Grayson talking about Batman or whatever, but it was just like, what do you think about him? I idolized him. I wanted to beat him. And I was like, that was me with Gohan, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and some people have made the same meme or whatever about this is me with Teen Gohan, but it really was like so many. I feel like every kid has definitely had a period of time in their life where like they just looked at the Teen Gohan because like
Yes, dude.
because
He was-
at the beginning of Z, you see that development though.
Yeah.
Because you always were like, oh, Goku's gonna come, he's gonna say this, he's gonna do his thing.
I know.
But to see Gohan mature into what he was, you're like,
Literally.
oh, I could do that too. Like I could do I mean, we already had those experiences as a kid, like trying to fire off the Kamehameha,
Yes.
like going Super Saiyan, you know what I'm saying? Like
that
and
brief
that's
period
why
of time when I
was
thought I
even
could
just-
stick to walls like Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, but like as a kid, you always had those moments where it's like, because I remember, I'll never forget, there was one time I was at church, and I was like around like 17, 18 at the time. Like I was seeing all these little kids run around pretending to be Sonic and Shadow.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, the purity of just childhood.
younger
innocence,
generation.
man, like
That's amazing.
it's like you really look up to some of these characters because they teach you a lot. Where like you said, where it's
Literally.
like just like overcoming your goals, sticking to like. I was over there for that TV, firing up that
That's
command
what
man
I'm
with
saying,
Gohan, bro.
dude.
Like,
Dude,
so-
Goku is the little embodiment of you put the hard work in, regardless of whatever the case is, you have to get up. Like when he was talking to Gohan, I felt that in my core. When Gohan
I
was holding
felt
his
that in
shoulder,
my
he
core.
was like, "Dude, Dad, I can't do this." And he's like, "Gohan, you gotta believe
Yeah, I was
yourself."
gonna say, you gotta
I
lock
was
in,
like,
dude.
"Oh
Like,
my goodness!"
damn, bro.
He was like, "You got this."
Yeah.
And Gohan
Like-
teed up, bro. Ugh.
I think one moment that was very similar to me was when they're in the hyperbolic time chamber.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, I was listening to what Goku was saying. When Goku was just like, oh, nah, this isn't good because, like, you're putting all your eggs in one basket if you just beef up Super Saiyan like this. I was sitting there like, okay, talk to him, King,
Yeah.
talk to him. Like,
And it's those
like-
moments where I think like the attention to detail with Goku, I feel like people really dumb down his character, especially with Super now that like Goku really is somebody who sees not just potential, but like understanding you as a person, understanding your heart. And I think that's what he did with Gohan. He understood his heart. He knew where he was at. Like he doesn't have the confidence right now, but his potential is he realized it was more than his. Like as a kid, like Goku realized, okay, my son is not like me, but I don't want to mold him to be exactly like me.
yeah.
But I know he has his own path and direction, and that's what we're gonna do. Like I felt that part of the story. That's one of the biggest things I love about Goku, and it just teaches me some of the core values of like just
a lot of the
Dragon Ball in
self-sacrifice he
general.
was ready to
Literally,
do. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
and just him having Piccolo and the self-sacrifice that Piccolo made, and really, Piccolo understanding later on that Gohan is different. He's not like that.
He had to teach
Like,
Goku
yeah.
that.
Even during
He
the
had to
cell
teach Goku
fight,
that,
Piccolo was like, "You're gonna let your son die." Goku's like, "No, it's cool, man." And even Goku was hesitant. He was like, "I don't know if maybe you're right, Piccolo."
I was gonna say,
I don't know, man. But like,
Only
he's
until Piccolo at the end was just like, dude, like your son is scared.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He
dude.
may be the most powerful being on the planet right now. We don't know. But the one thing I know is that he's scared. He's
Yeah.
wondering why his dad is letting him die.
dude.
Yeah.
Like,
And then seeing him step up after that, and especially like in the saga after, when you start going towards the Buu saga, when you see the great Saiyaman, bro, when you see him interacting with Videl.
I really enjoyed that, man.
The entire Buu saga, I'm so proud, dog.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I felt the growth because he felt happy.
Exactly.
He was excited.
He was coming into his own.
Yes.
And I really
really
felt that because when I was reading Dragon Ball Z for the first time, I was starting to finish high school. So like I was like right around that same time as like Gohan is, where I'm just like, like I'm like trying to like step up and figure out what my next steps are gonna be. And like just like reading about this dude being like, okay, I have all this power, I've done all these things, and all these things that are extraordinary to me, to other people are just normal. And I'm just like trying to introduce someone into this world. I'm trying to figure out what it means for like me to be a protector of the people that I care about. In the same way that my dad's a protector of people that he cares about. I was like, dude, like I'm out here trying to figure out what having a career looks like for me. Like my dad found out his career, you know? It's just like
Gohan, and I'll forever love Gohan. Even now, even when people always gave him flack, like, oh, he didn't live up to his potential, which I do find that very
people
false.
Want him to be like Goku.
That was my point.
But even Goku didn't want Gohan to be like Goku.
Exactly.
Like he wants him to be his own person. And like that individuality and that valuing of who he is as a person for himself to be the kind of protector he wants to be, dude.
That was my point with Gohan. Like he did it his way, and to this day, right now, caught up in the manga, he is arguably stronger than Gohan or Goku and Vegeta. And people say he is. It's comparable.
I was about to give a manga spoiler, my bad. But yeah, no, you're right. And like looking at, I just love when Toriyama introduced these themes because it's like, I know for me personally, like Toriyama is like, I think I could relate a lot to the mangas that were coming out and being like, you inspired me to move this way, because Toriyama inspired me to move that way. Yeah. Where it's like, I start content. The story behind my YouTube name is that's a combination of Goku, Sonic, and Ash. Like, and that's
real.
where that
that's real.
That's
where that is from. So real.
Like, I drew because of like the way. If you look at my notepad from like 7th grade or whatever, it's filled with characters that are just Saiyans. Like they're basically just original character Saiyans I made in my head, and like just like writing like DBZ stories on my laptop and stuff. Like it inspired me to just like be a creative. Like,
dude.
And the me seeing that Toriyama's done that for so many people who have like really changed the game. Yeah, is just it's insane.
That's wild.
It's insane, honestly.
So like it's truly a legendary legacy.
Yeah,
like a generational talent. Man. Like literally,
he's one of one.
Literally,
he's one of one.
Like unironically,
there's some people
when
that just
whole
like
nations
that,
are coming out and mourning you, nations
he's
you
like
weren't
that.
even a citizen of.
Yeah,
because
China,
of
France. Like,
yes, dude. It's like
insane, man.
Dudes,
and we even missed to not note the fact that cartel activity drops when a new
that is actually hilarious.
It's hilarious.
That's so
but
funny.
It is just so insane how it's like,
that.
Even the hardest, like the hardened of heart people are just like, I gotta sit down and watch that.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I gotta
it's so wild to think about. Like,
I'm sorry, bro.
So hold on, we gotta make some time for this. Just chill for a second. Like that's so insane to me. Like his influence and reach will forever be attained. He has, there's no doubt he has the best. He probably will have the best like anime fighting games. Period. I think Dragon Ball just rules that category. In terms of
unless a series is as long lasting and can stand up.
Fighters really did change the game for anime fighters overall. That's wild.
We were like, all right, we got higher standards now. That is crazy. We ain't buying this game.
I didn't even think about that until
that's
now.
Why, like,
that's true.
It's just hard when the standard is so high.
So many firsts for Toriyama's work, man.
It's tough.
Yeah. Rip the GOAT, man.
Rest in peace, the GOAT. Speaking of Dragon Ball fighting games, to kind of take us on a little bit of a lighter note, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero released their latest gameplay showcase.
Day one,
I've been peeping it, man.
What we day one.
Day one, cop.
Day one.
It is day one. It looks so good. They're adding so many new characters. I'm excited.
It looks so fluid.
It looks so clean. They're adding new mechanics. Yes.
The beam clashes.
There's stuff for the PS5. They're adding new mechanics with it. Yes. Like if you have a PS5, there's like certain things that go on with it.
Listen.
I was like the deflection.
Xbox, all right?
I don't know. Actually, I didn't.
It probably is.
Probably.
No one cares.
But like, real quick, touching on beam clashes. can we talk about how it's been a long time since a game felt like a game?
Yep.
Since like we're celebrating games being games. I'm sitting here, I get to either mash or hold a button to see if I can win a Beam Clash. I don't know if I'm going to win, but that's because it's a game.
Yeah.
I love that.
I feel like that's a side effect of playing games for so long, and it's just like when I hold a controller, like I mean, my girlfriend right now, she's getting into gaming for the first time. She's playing a lot of Breath of the Wild, and so like I see her looking like down at her like controller a lot.
Oh,
like, what's this button this way?
Yeah,
because we were playing Fighters a couple days ago.
Yeah,
and going from the PlayStation, obviously from the Switch, like it's just like
exactly.
I remember that.
Very different.
And I
remember that so much,
but it's
bro.
so wild how I think all of us have come to a point where it's like every time we're like, oh, I'm playing on my PlayStation. I don't
exactly.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm playing on Xbox now. Okay. Oh, I'm playing on the Switch. Okay.
But it's like even off of that, just like games just celebrating the fact that you play this by pressing buttons. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Yeah. I love that.
I know.
Dude, so like
my controller is vibrating.
Seeing the transformations and everything, because they're going to do some crazy stuff with the vibrations.
100%.
And transformations, please. But the transformations, I want to see how different the movesets get when you transform.
Dude, that's what people are saying. Like, it's every single one. Because that's how it was in Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Like, every move, I want to see it's so... That's one of the biggest things I'm excited for. I want to see how everything changes. And you can go from Super Saiyan 1 to 2. I think you can go to every Super,
because remember in the new trailer, he went all the way to blue.
Yes.
He went from base to blue
I was
immediately.
Like, it was, oh my gosh, it was so clean.
Man.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited.
I'm so ready.
I'm excited. It's in my top 3 this year, man.
Dude, are we in a renaissance of good games to play with friends? Because like Helldivers has been popping off.
Bro.
We're getting this game.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like I'm feeling
Company.
I'm feeling excited to play games with my friends again, y'all. I haven't felt this way since Overwatch 1 in 2016.
Yeah.
And I only felt that way about Overwatch for 2 years.
Yeah.
Man.
No, that's a dub.
This game is gonna be amazing. Just as a Dragon Ball fan, man, we've been needing something like this, bro.
Yeah,
we've needed it,
bro. Every so often I pick up Fighters again, just for like I'll play Fighters for like 2 months straight, and I'll just be like, just to fill the void.
I get locked in the corner by Vegito Blue. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, he's got Jiren on the team. Jiren, Broly, Super Bro. Okay,
thanks. Speaking of Broly, I'm so excited to see Broly in Sparking Zero.
Yeah. I am very excited. Very excited to see
bro, that man looks clean. He looks clean.
Yeah. I like seeing him in Fighters, but that was obviously that was before the Broly movie came out, right?
No, I think it was a little
Fighters.
No, the game launched before the I was
gonna say. So they added him as DLC later on.
Yeah.
But to like have like a Dragon Ball game launch with Broly in it is like
I think they're adding Super Trunks and a bunch of other people. Like
I'm so ready. The roster is huge. They were not goofing around with this roster, bro.
That was the biggest complaint. People were curious.
Xenoverse 2 did this for y'all. I want y'all to know. Xenoverse 2 bought some time, bro.
Technically, they're still developing Xenoverse 2. Technically, they're still supporting that game.
They still add DLC to the game.
I'm wondering how much Xenoverse 2 sold for them to be doing this.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, hey, remember we bought it literally because please put Fighters on Switch.
Yeah. Dude.
Man, Sparking Zero though, that's gonna be an easy day one. 100% sticking some time into that one, bro. It's gonna be so fun.
I'm putting in months,
dude.
Man, what?
I
put in hours in Fighters, boy. Imagine what you think I'm gonna do with Sparking Zero. Okay,
dude, listen,
I'm putting in hours on
this game is going to be re-sparking sleepovers. I'm sorry,
bro.
Yes.
Literally.
I'm gonna be on that. I'm gonna look up the guys. I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be one of those games for sure.
I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to that game so badly. And this game coming out. I'm telling y'all, this Hunter x Hunter game has no excuse.
Oh, okay.
No excuse.
I'm gonna say no comment on that.
Be good. That's all I need.
One comment. I think Hunter x Hunter, that game, I do give a lot of flack to anime games, okay? But that game right there will not fly.
I mean, they confirm it's going to be a 2D fighter. 3v3 made by the Marvel vs. Capcom people. So I'm really there's a lot of good signs here. There's a lot of good signs. Like, and if they can make Nen into a mechanic,
I'm getting that game.
It's over. Imagine Kurapika being okay at best until he's up against a troop member.
Dude, the attention to detail would actually be nasty work. Like,
I'm telling you,
like a little. He gets a little boost if he fights every. Come on, man. I'm gonna see what they do with that though. Now if that game is a dub, that will actually start get a ripple effect for better anime games.
That's what I'm saying. Because there is no reason we haven't gotten a good Demon Slayer game yet.
Yeah.
That JJK game was an embarrassment. We're going to pretend it didn't exist. Give us a good one. Because that universe is rich. You can do so much with that. One Piece fighting game. That's not a Warriors game.
Yeah.
Oh, man. A One Piece
Dude,
fighting game
I'm telling you.
That'd be dope.
Listen, competitive Naruto fighting game. Why has that not been a thing yet?
Yeah.
Arc Sys Naruto?
Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Shinobi Strikers wasn't good. I'm sorry.
Shinobi Strikers.
It wasn't good. Ultimate Ninja
I'm telling you, dog. Like there's so much room for good fighting games in anime right now, dog. I mean, shoot. Give me an Odd Taxi fighting game, bro. Just make it Mugen, but Odd Taxi. There we go.
I want a My Hero fighting game so bad.
Dude,
please.
like why do we not have that, bro? Like
imagine getting hit by
My Hero fighting game would be
Imagine getting hit by the Eraserhead level 2 and having to switch characters. Think about that. For 30 seconds. Sorry, bro. He's unavailable. That's crazy.
There's so much potential, man. There's so much potential.
It's so
It just has to be with the right people that care a lot,
team,
right intentionality.
And a lot of care and a lot. And I think a part of it is the funding too, because it's just like, why do you think we get so many shovelware tier games? It's because they know people are going to buy it anyway, so they don't put money into it. That's how we got that shall not be named game from one of the newer Dark Shonen manga.
Do you know it had the most refunds in like a week or two's time span? Yes, in Steam history.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
Nah, I'd refund.
Mind you, JJK won eight awards.
Yeah, the Crunchyroll Awards, right?
People rock with JJK.
Yes, dude.
People love JJK.
People are like, just because you rock with JJK doesn't mean we'll buy JJK slop. So,
which is surprising because anime fans will do whatever.
And it's wild.
Buy whatever.
A lot of different anime fans don't have that same standard.
Literally, dog. Speaking of, I'm actually really happy that like anime is a lot more accepted now. I remember being like in a store and just seeing 3 girls walk in. They were talking about JJK. I'm like, man, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't have that, bro.
Literally,
we did not have that, bro.
My girlfriend's best friend, she was bullying me because he was like, "You ain't seen Hunter x Hunter, you ain't seen JJK, you ain't seen nothing." I was like, "No, not yet." She was like,
Hunter x Hunter, you have no excuse.
You have to.
JJK, though.
I'm rewatching Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, I got.
I'm rewatching Hunter x Hunter, and like, actually, I'm watching Ranking of Kings right now.
Is that good?
It is phenomenal.
For real?
Yes.
Because people were gassing it up a ton when it first came out.
It's
like yeah, go ahead.
Good. It is the story. I love shows like that. Point blank.
Because it kind of comes out of left field and it's just kind of good, but you wouldn't expect it to be good if you didn't like really look at it. Okay,
dude. First of all, an ALS main character, like the fact that I'm just giving a side the main character, he's deaf and he can't talk. Right, so he was born like that. So his whole family has to do like ALS. To speak.
Oh, like sign language.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to me, that was the coolest things I've never seen.
That's wild.
An anime first give awareness to it, like just people that are deaf and can't talk.
Yeah,
it was just just watch it. It's 23 episodes.
That's wild.
Watch the show. It is guys. I'm like episode 6.
The only other manga that I know that's like other mangas that I know about like deaf people are A Silent Voice and what is it? Not A Sign of Happiness, but it's like another romance one that's more recent. That's wild, actually. Huh.
Yeah, man, it's peak. It is very. I really enjoy it right now. But
that's dope. I love that.
But you should get on Hunter though. You should.
Yeah,
it's
Hunter is very.
And I'll watch it with you. I'll watch it with you.
Shoot, I'll start rewatching it again.
I'll tell you. I'll literally tell both of you when I'll start watching it because I'm probably gonna watch it the next month. Yeah, or like the next couple weeks.
Because like me and Abby were watching it because it's her first time watching. We're like in Greed Island right now.
Oh, my favorite,
dude. There is so much I forgot about this show.
Yeah, same. I was rewatching it a little bit. I'm like, I'm rewatching. Yeah. Okay.
So again, the lack of Hunter x Hunter games up to this point is also criminal. We need that. So this game, I think it has a good chance of being good. I need that. I really need that game to be good. Yeah. Please make it good. Man.
Rock on. Yeah. So obviously we've done a lot of reminiscing. So kind of going forward with some more of the theme of nostalgia.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about the sixth generation of gaming. So for our viewers who don't know, sixth generation of gaming specifically refers to the GameCube, PS2, original Xbox, and the Dreamcast era.
The CRT era.
The CRT era, yep.
Man.
Kind of the last CRT era. Really.
I was about to say.
And so, looking at that, we kind of all have our memories and stuff. So I think a question I want to propose was just, for our viewers who don't really know, how good was that generation?
You can go first, Sam.
Oof.
Yeah, because I know you probably agree.
I'm
you
trying.
probably had more.
Listen, I'm trying so hard to not be nostalgia blind, but I'm sorry, bro. That era was amazing.
Go ahead.
That
It
era
was.
was amazing
It was.
for games.
It was.
Think about being able to like walk into a store and I have so many specific memories of going to like Target or Walmart when they had like the game kiosks, bro.
Come on,
and
now.
like mom would be like, "I'm gonna do shopping. You stay right here."
Yeah.
Me like this with the
Yeah.
Game Boy, be like, okay.
Yeah.
Or like looking up at the PS2 one, be like, all right, I'm trying to play this. Dude,
Man, yeah.
the
'cause
franchises. Ooh, the experiences.
I was introduced to
Yeah.
so many consoles at McDonald's.
Come on.
Yes.
Like
Yo.
Come on now.
Yes.
The play plays.
Yeah, the play plays game.
Oh,
I was sitting there like, okay, Luigi's Mansion. It's
dude,
peak. It's peak.
that's when I
okay,
first.
Sonic Heroes.
Dude,
okay,
that's how I
okay.
first played
Yeah,
Sonic
no.
Heroes.
It was so gas.
Dude.
It was so gas.
I don't know, man. Like it was right before. That was right before games started getting off of just being really kind of, I guess, for lack of a better word, it was like, but when games started to stop being as playful, it started becoming a little bit more. We're gonna take ourselves a little more seriously. We're trying to see like
And
if we can do more things.
saying,
And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna say the games were all for kids. Again, Silent Hill came out, Resident Evil had been coming out of that. We had RE4 on the
Silent Hill
GameCube.
is-
Chill out, I get it.
Silent
We had
Hill was
Perfect
up.
Dark. We
Yeah,
had
Perfect
different
Dark, yeah.
experiences, but like the perception of gaming at that time, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that people were just doing stuff. Literally, like, dude, I remember like playing Battlefront 2 split screen at my friend's house, dog.
Split screen era was different.
The split
It was
screen
critical.
era?
Boy,
dude.
what?
I had experience
was
with
serious.
split screen in the 7th generation.
Come on
but
now.
playing Halo.
Come on, man.
Yes, dude.
God, are you
Minecraft
serious?
Dude.
Minecraft?
And you know what?
Feud
Man?
families.
Can we even talk about how, at that point, we didn't even have that much gaming news or media. So
Oh,
you
we
had to
didn't.
learn about new games by either going to GameStop
wait,
or looking
time
at
out.
store shelves. Yes.
But the advertisements were serious.
Yes.
back
The
then.
advertisements were
Gamefly
serious.
did it clocked in overtime. Okay, a lot of
here's the thing with that, because like I remember looking at so many different commercials, being like, "Oh, I need that game."
Yes,
One of them that
bro.
really popped out to me was the Kirby Mass Attack.
Yes.
Oh, I remember
I remember that one.
Okay.
I remember that one.
Like,
Did-
and I think one part was really underrated in terms of finding new games was going over to a friend's house and being like, "Oh, what game is
Yes,
this?" It's like,
exactly.
"Oh, bro, that's Halo 3." I'm like, "Okay, all right."
That's
bet,
bro.
bet.
That's how I found Black
Oh,
Flag, bro. I went
Yeah,
over to my
really?
friend's house.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. I was
Like-
like, ugh, it's kind of nasty.
Or just being on, I guess, Playground Hearsay too, where it's like,
Exactly.
because I remember being like, "Oh, like Oscar, you want to play Minecraft with us?" I'm like, "Oh, what's Minecraft?" They're just like, "Oh yeah,
Yes,
Minecraft."
dude.
Yes, bro.
Go back home, go on YouTube,
Bro.
be like, "Okay."
I think you showed me what Minecraft was.
I was gonna say,
Dude.
because
That changed my
Even
my
as a
childhood.
homeschooled
people.
kid, when I was doing school online, my chemistry teacher had a Minecraft server, and that's what got me in, bro. Yo,
man.
I do want to just to go off that topic, thinking about it now, like the ads that used to play when we were like younger really sold me on a
Yes.
lot of games.
yes,
One-
dude.
One thing I've been doing is looking back at the PS2 era's ads, and y'all,
Bro,
their marketing team, they were working
cooking.
like rent
They
was
were
due.
Man, what?
They were working like rent was due the
Yes,
next day.
dude.
I was sitting there like with the PlayStation symbol on the head, with the eye, with the X
Yes,
square.
dude.
Like, oh my goodness,
Dude,
dog.
they
It
were
was
like-
insane.
They were
trying to
getting
make
your
it look like-
A10 Sean, but it was unique.
Yeah.
And I love
But I
that.
don't really see and I was gonna mention something about this privately, but it's just like how advertisements today have just no aura.
Soulless.
They don't.
Like,
It's
Soulless.
you see someone walk and play Nintendo Switch, and
Focus
just like,
tested.
Nintendo Switch. It's fun for the whole family.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
just
It's
like-
so-
I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, back
Yeah.
in the day, though,
Listen.
where like you would have someone be like, "This is Xbox Live."
Exactly.
Like,
Dude.
there was also because I was going back and looking at Dreamcast ads, and like their slogan was, "Shh, it's thinking."
That's
and, like, it would
Dude,
be
that's
like,
so
I'm like,
hard.
oh
That's
my
so
goodness.
hard. See, and
And
it's
that's
crazy,
why
right?
they're in their dummies.
Dude,
That's hard.
because like the closest I can think of recently is the one that we had with Reggie and Iwata when they were fighting, bro.
Oh, was that?
Yes.
Nintendo,
Oh,
they were,
yeah.
They were the last frontier with this. for sure.
Literally.
Where they were just like, oh, like, like we're still going to try our best to do. But with the Switch, they were just like, yeah, bro, the Switch is
I
a whole.
know,
It's,
bruh.
it's very
The Switch,
soulless. It's got
listen,
games.
I
though.
know.
Like,
It's
that's the power
got
of having a
games,
product
but
that
like
is really, really
the
good.
Switch is literally just the product version of, and now the logos are flat and minimalistic.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, think about that.
Yeah.
Like,
Man, bro.
dude.
I mean, even when you like open up I'm thinking about opening up consoles. And, you know, like the PlayStation logo would kind of shine and rotate around. And
I
like,
want you as
like
the viewer
like,
to play that PlayStation 2 boot up sound right now.
Bro.
Get on YouTube. Play that right now. Think of the memories that elicits,
Like,
bro.
Yeah.
The Wii boot up sound. That has an aura.
Even just the Wii U boot up sound. Where it's like, dun, 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 dun.
Yes, dude.
It's like, but then it's just like,
Think about your Game Boy Advance. The woo when that turned on. Even the DS. The yes, dude.
yes, bro.
Yeah, man.
And we can't even go into the GameCubes.
Yeah.
That's just iconic.
the GameCubes is the best example. Of that, 'cause
Literally,
everyone knows it.
everyone knows that. Don't, dude. It's like, can we please? Again,
Oh,
bro,
man.
this what
Yeah,
that's
they're just so-
that was when games weren't even just a product; they were an experience.
Yeah.
The whole
Yes.
thing was an experience.
Yeah.
Booting it up,
Going to
was
the
an
store,
experience.
buying it.
Going to the store.
Speaking
Everything.
of experiences, my girlfriend was asking me, she was like, "Oh, like how do you like, make time to play games?" Because she was just, like running into the issue where she's addicted to Breath of the Wild now, and so
Real.
she's playing it all day. She's just like, "I need to like manage my time better." How do you? And like I told her, I was like, I treat gaming. Yeah, I was like, I treat gaming like an event where it's like at the end of my day, like I've earned the right to chill with a good game, especially on a Friday night.
Yes.
Where like I'm like, all right, I want to like.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think I'm doing after this?
I'm getting a good drink. I'm getting some good food.
Yes,
I got a good YouTube video in the
Bro, we
background,
talk about
and I'm
this.
playing
The
Pokemon
anticipation.
Black.
So wrong.
Yeah.
We did that with
The
Arceus, I think.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
the energy of like preparing yourself to relax with a game,
Yeah.
getting food,
It's
the
unmatched.
pre-game
The
food,
pre-game food.
the pre-game food.
Man, what y'all know about that, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot.
I'm
of people
sorry,
probably
dude.
wouldn't
There's
like-
something, and I feel like because I've been learning a lot about just kind of like slowing down and experiencing life more intentionally, and I'm like, man, like the PS5 doesn't care if I'm playing games or not. It's like you can buy stuff right now, or you can play games. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, like when you sat down with the GameCube, it was like, so where's the game? Like, put the game in
All
right
bro,
now.
What we playing?
This is what
Like,
I'm here for.
I
You know
saw,
what I'm
I saw
saying?
this one TikTok and like it really epitomized the experience of like being a kid and like going up to your PS2 and being like, I hope this reads this disc, I hope this reads this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Like, all right, let me see. And so it's like-
Yeah. Okay, it always skips. Let's try to.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like-
No, that really was a core memory for everybody. though. Like that's
Yes,
hilarious.
dude.
Even the sorry.
Don't scratch it.
Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, it's just insane. Cause like, as you mentioned before, you blew up your PS5 and you're just like, oh, like welcome back. You know, we got games, media. You know, just look around, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But like, it's one of those things. One of the jingles that stuck in my head. Going a little bit back to jingles. One of the jingles that stuck in my head is just I wish that it was kept. I know that like they've gone for the more minimalist thing, but like hearing the PlayStation, like I was I know. Like
Something about that is just hard.
something about that is
Yes.
just different.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just
dude.
tough.
Like when you heard an ad or whatever, like and it's just like it's already sold you, and then
Dude,
it's just
yes.
PlayStation. I was
Listen,
like, oh
that's as
my
iconic
gosh.
as booting up any Sonic game and hearing Sega.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I needed
Yes.
that.
Yes,
I needed that.
Yes,
And it's just like, again, it's just like the act of just sitting down to consume this piece of media was like something that I could look forward to. And now it's just about do the thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm down to play the game. Of course I am.
sure.
Yeah.
But it feels like the gaming companies, like, because they already know they have the audience, they're not trying to entice me anymore, dude. It's like we're at the part of the marriage where it's stale. And they're not trying to romance me anymore. They're like, I know you're gonna cook food, and I know you're gonna get in this bed with me. We're gonna go to bed, but we're not doing anything.
Yeah,
and it's
But
just
it's
like,
like,
I
it's
want,
just whatever. You
I
know,
want to
man.
be pursued, y'all.
Yeah.
I want you to want me, bro. I want
to
you
be
to
seduced.
That's what I'm saying. Seduce me, please. I
like,
want y'all to come over and be like, hey, I mean, I got some themes for you. I mean, you can check these out. I mean,
say though, like
I might have a new. I mean, hey, if you get an achievement in this game, I might have a new jingle for you that I won't tell you about until the next time you boot up the console.
Man, like
That's actually dope.
Think about that.
That's actually dope.
There's no reason they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I feel like too, there's just like a lack of interactivity. Obviously, with like us being in the visual age, we're like, oh man, I watched this one YouTube short and it just really drilled it home for me.
Yeah.
How like, as a kid, you just flip through your case and be like, oh shoot, what am I gonna play this weekend? Like, okay, I got Kingdom Hearts, I got this. Like,
Literally.
oh shoot, oh, I think I'm gonna boot up that new Starfield. Like, okay, like let me put it in there, let me turn it on, let me go. Like now you just boot up your PS5.
I know.
Like you sit on the couch and you're like,
We're Netflixing, bro. We're Netflixing.
I guess I'll watch Netflix.
We're Netflixing, dude.
Nah, man.
And that's why we can even talk about the importance of physical media. That's why, for any game that I can keep physically and have to do the act of opening the case, pulling the cartridge out, and putting it into my Switch, I will do that because it's I don't want to lose. I guess, for lack of a better phrase, that magic, that simple joy of being I'm going to play this game. And that's
one thing I felt really good about with that is just the N64, because it's just it's one of the last top loader consoles where it's take it, put it over the top, put it in there, switch it on, go back, and even with the GameCube where it's open it up.
Yes, and that click is really satisfying. Whew.
Man, it's different. It's just so different.
It's just it's the small things, man. It's the little things that make it really, really worth. And I want to, I want, and I feel like over the next 15 years we might see a little bit of that back as companies start realizing people don't want just the product, because I can always get product. I'm going to give money to product. Don't get me wrong. I'm a capitalist. I'm a capitalist based on society. I'm going to consume. But it's I want product to be a little more than product. I want it to be something that I can really enjoy, dog. You know what I'm saying? I want to sit there with it. I want to think about the times as a kid that you fantasize about playing a new game, or you were looking forward to sitting down and booting up your DS or your GameCube. You know?
We've talked privately about just the car ride back.
Yes,
and
flipping through the manual.
I'd have a PhD in
over
that case
and
by the time
over.
we got back
Yes, bro.
I'd be it's 2-player.
I mean, I be reading the Nintendo official seal.
I'd be warning, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever that means.
Exactly. Mild violence. Can't let mom see that. But still,
it's it's just so. Man, it was different, bro. And we can even talk about it. Just I know we already talked about it a little bit, but just the games that are coming out for it, because now more than ever, and I got some of the Dunkey video, and it's really stuck with me since then. But he was now more than ever, game companies are fighting for your money, and that means that there's just a plethora of games to play. There's indie games to play galore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you I know you haven't played every single indie game from 10 years ago or even 5 years ago.
Exactly.
So you can always go back and do that. You can play the indie games that are coming out every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's just there's always something to play. But back in the day, you were very limited to what you got.
Yep.
And that made you very
Facts.
very protective of what you had, but also just the memories are very more attached to it. Because stuff we grew up with stuff like Kid Icarus, Star Fox 64 3D, Star Fox 64.
The Lego games, bro.
The Lego games.
Even the Zelda
Batman,
games.
the Batman Arkham. It's it's just stuff like that where you look at these games and you'd be able to tell somebody everything about these games.
Exactly.
Because you played these games all the time.
Replay value was, we just started, that's a whole different conversation, but replay value was crazy in this era, okay?
Yes, bro.
I'm talking about we played this at least 3 times.
Dude, you
feel me? it's not just
those are games, after you finish up, you'd be like, man,
okay,
I want to play that again.
We're going to put up another file.
I want to play this again.
And you know what's so wild? The only game in recent memory I really remember making me feel that way was Metroid Dread.
Yeah,
Metroid Dread I remember when I finished Dread, my first thought, and I told everyone this, I had to talk myself out of it. I was like, I want to do that again. And I was like, no, Sam, we're not going to sit down and play this whole game again. We got other things to do, bro. But I was like, dude, there was something about that game. And that could even be a podcast in and of itself. What makes a good Metroid or Metroidvania or whatever. But something about the anticipation, the getting it, the playing it in spurts, the having to come back to it.
I know.
Be I don't know where I'm going to go next, but I'm excited to figure that out.
The lighting changing and you getting,
hearing that sound of the robots coming up.
I was like, I'm cooked.
Just being a new surprise.
I got to put my switch down and come back to my heart. Let me see. Come right back.
Something about... And I think that touches on what you're talking about. Something about scarcity, both of time and of availability, I think really made games a lot more special back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Even though you're an adult and you still have a lot I could always just be I want to play this game after work, but it's I'll just see whatever I feel like. But I would come back home, Kelechi and I, we were only
we rushing, man. We going.
Yes.
Friday, bro.
Throw the bag on the side.
I said you couldn't catch us until we got to that closet. You're just Oh, but I haven't played Pokemon Black all week.
We open that up. Then we battle every gym badge. We battle. We come. Okay, we gotta grab our team and we gotta go back. Okay, we gotta run the
team. All right, go.
We gotta go back.
Yeah.
No, that was really experience, man.
And that's the thing, dog.
But I think too, another thing is like the charm of games, because like games, I'm not here to say games don't have any charm, but it's like they are very apparent to you as a kid.
Yeah.
Because like you're very immersed in there. Like, you know, even nowadays, sometimes I sometimes have trouble getting immersed in certain games because it's always just like,
I know.
Oh, I mean, I got an hour to play this, so I have to go to bed and go to work.
Literally.
So all right, let's see what's going on. Let me play this crash level for 2 seconds. But it's like, back in the day, just being like, oh man, like the charm of just Wind Waker and being like, I'm sailing the seas right now, and just like
I need
the charm of Sly Cooper being like, I'm just running around in Paris. Like,
I need y'all real quick to talk about Hi-Fi Rush. Because I have not seen a game. Think about it. It shadow dropped full of sauce. People loved it, and they ain't said nothing after that.
Yeah.
Bro,
Since back in the day, when did something like that happen? Think about that. If that game had released in like 2008, and you saw it at that's what I'm saying.
Cult classic.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That's actually why it really would be called a classic.
Yeah,
100%.
It's a cult classic. Like, oh man, Hi-Fi Rush was just incredible because everything about the game, it didn't feel like it was like we want to waste your time. It was like, dog, we're here to rock. We're here to party, dog. So like, you could come through, play us for a little bit, have some fun. That. Like just sit down, chill, bro.
Think about that
and play, relax.
It was.
There are a lot of games that do that. But like we were talking about Hi-Fi Rush right now, and it did that phenomenally. It did that.
The story. The characters is what really it was the story was beautiful. It was integrated well. Not talking about the environment interacting with the music.
Because it's a rhythm game and an action game.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
I was like,
it's a rhythm action game.
Man, I put in my wish list for winning, and Oscar's like, oh, I finished it. Oscar finished it. I was like, okay, this must be good. Usually when Oscar finishes something fast, it's usually decent. It's pretty good. So he be taking his time. So I'm like, okay, man. I'm like, it's in the wish list. I saw it's on sale. I'm going to cop it. Man, what? I literally opened it up. I'm like, I'm going to finish this game. But I've cranked it. It's a 13, like it's probably a 15-hour game. I put in like 25. You know what I'm saying? Like it usually, when the more hours I put into it, the more I really enjoy it because it's like the story itself, like, and the villains were really memorable. I'm like, this is a great gem.
The games that just have a hard time drawing you away from them,
dude.
Those are the ones
that's
you
how
talk
you know
about
you're
for sure.
in,
bro.
Because as a kid, we've all had those moments where we're staying up later than we should. I had the DS under the pillow. We all been there.
Under the pillow activity is serious, boy. You gotta act like you sleep.
Some of us had it in between the mattress and the wall.
That's different. That's different work. I ain't gonna lie.
So when they come in, you can be like, oh, ain't nothing under the pillow.
I was like,
have y'all ever had the game Buzz or something like that? And
yes!
Like, oh my God.
It's over, bro.
I'm finished.
Listen, the way I got caught is because like I shifted a little bit when my mom came in, and the game fell.
And she was like, I knew you were sweating. It was like, oh my gosh.
Wonder what that is.
The worst part is that I would always be like, all right, I don't really want to like have my face covered up to this thing.
Yes.
So I would like remove my blanket a little bit, and then when my mom would come, I'd be like, and then I'm like, but like I would try and time it to when she opens the door, or whatever. So like it looks like I've been on my covers for a while.
Yeah.
And so, oh man, yeah, there was just this one time where it was just, and she was like, nope. I'm finished.
That's so funny, man. That's hilarious.
But man, like I want that level of sauce. I want companies to really be like, you know what? Let's make an experience they're really gonna vibe with. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like you were saying, like making games like the rent is due, bro. Like this is the last thing you're gonna make. Like I feel like
putting your all into it.
Because again, when the earlier days of the gaming industry, when people were like, okay, I'm not sure if this is just a toy or if this is a legitimate art form, people were really trying to say, hey, I'm gonna make a splash with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we can give him flack all day. But Last of Us was different when it came out.
It was.
I'm going to say that for sure. Last of Us was different.
Oh, don't worry.
They were like, we got something to tell. We're going to tell it. Like,
that's what I'm saying,
and I
bro.
love hearing stories about just older devs. And like, again, like when you posted that story about the Final Fantasy creator.
Yeah.
And how he was just like, so looks like we're out of money, so let's do this one. And it's wild too, because I think they were competing with Dragon Quest, right?
Yes,
and they're
exactly.
Like, we're never gonna be Dragon Quest. Let's just and now
okay,
for Final
we got to
Fantasy
give it a good name. Oh,
it's just
that's insane.
looking at stuff like that, like even just the creation of Sonic, where we're just like, okay,
Yeah.
so obviously we want to compete with Mario, but what if we just made the antithesis of this, and just went hard?
And how many
on
kids
that?
do you know that was drawing Sonic all day? I was one of them.
That's what I was saying.
Literally, Sonic
bro.
got me into sketching a ton.
How many YouTubers
bro?
that are based their channels just solely off
Literally
Sonic?
Literally,
Come on now.
Yeah,
It's one of those like it's one of those Dragon Ball things where it's like Naruto. You know, how many YouTubers based off Naruto? There's Sonic is in his own. That's a whole different tier of just like
literally
media.
Of it's like never going to be not iconic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that is crazy. You know, now that I think about it, how many new like original characters have we really gotten in gaming that have gotten to that kind of level?
It's been a long time.
It's been. I mean, hey, let me be real with you. Let me be dead honest with you. Five Nights at Freddy's is one of the only ones that you can really think of that's like, they're kind of iconic in that sense.
Maybe Sans too from Undertale.
You know what? I'll give you Sans and Undertale. You know what I'm saying? Again, we named two indie games, and then Overwatch, I guess. But is Overwatch going to be remembered in the same way as those first two? Not really.
Overwatch 2 is tainting the legacy.
Maybe Tracer, maybe a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? But not in that same same vein. You know what I'm saying?
Because back in the 90s and maybe it's because obviously that was like the mascot era, like every single platform had every single platform had a mascot, but like it felt like icons were coming out left and right. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Master Chief, Sora, Sly, Jack,
later,
Ratchet.
bro. But even later on in the PS3 era, think about it. Nathan Drake, Uncharted, basically a mascot. We know him.
Yeah,
think about that.
Sackboy.
Exactly.
They were going crazy with it.
Yeah, it really was up until around PS3 era. That whole era was right around when it ended. Think about that.
Yeah.
Because what have we had in the PS4 era moving forward as far as
someone mentioned that PlayStation has had a mascot for each era. Like in the PS1, it was Crash and Spyro.
I'm not calling Astro a mascot. Stop that. Stop that.
I was like,
stop
so many
that.
people were like, oh, what's the? People were like, oh, it's probably either Astro, and I'm like, no, or it's Spider-Man. I'm like, also no.
The closest you have as a mascot on PS5 is literally just Ratchet and Clank because their game was used to kind of help sell the system.
Ain't that the demo?
Yes, because people were like, guys, you play the Pixar game. You play a Pixar movie. It's like that was what people were saying.
It sucks how Ratchet and Clank is getting to be a tech demo because their next game, based on the Insomniac leaks, is going to come out in 2029, and we know the PSX is coming out around
exactly.
That. So it's like, oh boy.
But it's like, dude, like we're sauceless right now.
And how like the PS2, of course, had Sly, Jack, and Ratchet debut, and so they were the trio.
Exactly.
And then the PS3 had Nathan Drake. Then the PS4 kind of brought Kratos back again, even though he wasn't the PS2.
Yeah,
I can kind of give you that one. I can kind of give you that.
I was gonna say,
I'm not gonna say so. I'm not gonna think of it. I don't think of it as synonymously though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me, but
I don't know who else I'd give it to on PS4 though.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Like,
you know.
So I think just by default, I think it just goes.
Maybe.
I'm not giving it to Aloy. I'm not giving it to her.
Nah.
Hey. No, I'm playing.
No. The Rising games are forever known as, oh wow, this game came out a day before Breath of the Wild, and then oh wow, this game came out a day before Elden Ring.
Literally. Shout out those devs, man. Think about that. I mean, you work on a game that it sells millions.
The first one did good though. The first one did good. It did.
Yeah. Unless you're a gamer on Twitter, in which case everything was horrible.
I was gonna say, can never please them.
Overrated.
Yeah, 6th generation. It just,
I'm telling you, dog.
Even just 7 generations, we breached into it. It's like, it's just aura, man. It's just aura. Like we could talk about the memory card icons, and I actually learned
memory cards.
Memory cards in general. Like it's so crazy. I was like, oh dang, because like I don't have a memory card for my GameCube, and so I test my GameCube games as they come in, and I can't really save my game unless I have a memory card. Yeah, so I'm like, oh dang, like, that's kind of crazy.
I remember I had a friend whose parents never got him a PS2 memory card, so every time we would hang out, we would just like be like, okay, let's see how far we can get in attacking the power of Juju.
Oh dang!
Every time,
Like, no memory card though.
Nope.
That's insane.
My parents would have looked at it and been like, "Oh, it's necessary to play the game. Okay, we'll get it."
Like, some African parents don't care that far, bro. They said, like, we already boxed you the PS2, a couple games, you're set.
I'd have to explain though. Like I can't just be like, "It's necessary," because I try to explain to my mom when the 3DS is coming out. I was like, "You can game in 3D." And the entire time she's like, could care less about that. So it's like, I'm not getting that. So,
It's funny.
but yeah, yeah, it's just it was different, man. It was different.
I want some of that sauce to come back
I do.
because I feel we're on the cusp of going.
That's why I've
everything's
just been-
digital, everything's live
Yeah.
service,
Yeah.
and I know it's kind of doomsaying amongst the gaming community at this point, and I don't think realistically that's only going to be the only thing we have. But I don't want devs and companies really putting a lot of energy into this to be a thing we relegate to either special editions, indie games, or events. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that becoming a practice again, you know?
Yeah, like I've been so invested in retro stuff recently because it's just reminded me of a time where it's like, I mean, not to be like all vultures or descending upon the industry or something, but it's just like, this is a time where it's like everyone who was in the space just cared about playing games.
Yeah.
Like, and we talked a little bit about graded media privately, but it's just like, I feel like, no offense to people who do it, but like, I'm trying to just get the vibe where it's like, you just look at this as an investment. Like, you're just like, oh, hopefully this will like sell for a couple $1,000 later and like I can get a good like, but like before the pandemic, there were a lot of people who were into game collecting and just stuff like that. Because they just like, man, it'd be really awesome if I could just play Sly 2 again on the PS2. It'd be awesome if I could just play Sunshine on the GameCube again, like on a GameCube.
That's what I'm saying,
not
man.
on a PC emulating it, just like
on the actual hardware. You know?
Like it's just.
And in those days, it felt like it felt like you could pick up any of those any time because they were everywhere. And then the pandemic hit, and then people started collecting things, and now the children can barely get Pokemon cards at Target, and it costs me over $60 to get a Pokemon game.
I saw on Facebook there's this one couple, they run like a car store or whatever.
Yeah.
And they posted on Facebook flexing about the fact they bought out all of Costco's Pokemon booster sets or whatever.
Bro.
No.
And like they like literally turned off comments. I'm like, what did you expect, dog? You literally just like, yeah, guys, we're gonna upcharge these like 80% at our store. Look at us, guys. It's like, dog, what?
Come on.
That turned out the comments is
This
already
is for
L,
children.
It's literally
This is for
children, man.
kids, bro.
That's hilarious.
Nah, dude, we're not doing this, man. And that's like, and again, don't get me wrong. Collectors are gonna collect. We're all collectors of some sort in this room. Collect your stuff, man. But it's like
upcharging though, like.
And again, it's just I'm not here to be like everything is ruined because people want to make money. But it is a little bit harder to really appreciate this space when it feels like the majority of people are in this specifically just for profit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, man. Maybe I shouldn't have to pay $80+ for like an obscure game that I know you're not playing.
For Panzer Dragoon Saga. I'm not doing that.
And I know the person who probably has it 9 times out of 10 hasn't played the game.
I know.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games now at this point is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, and it's $250.
Literally.
So I'm like, all right, like,
dude,
I'm going to have to save up for a couple months to get this.
I kept looking at Mercari. I have a whole saved search for that. And every time there's new ones I check, none of them have ever been below 200.
If it does dip below 200, it's sold.
It's gone immediately,
and it's like 180, and it sells.
Yes.
I'm like, dang, like
it's like
y'all so eager to drop 180.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's just like it's like that for Vita games too. There's this one dude on Mercari I've been watching. He has Odin Sphere, Muramasa, and I think Dragon's Crown. He tried selling them for like $600, and it's been going steadily lower. It's at like 300 and something right now. But I'm like, dog, even for this much, there is no way on earth you're making me pay this much for these. I
like seeing the seller lady be like, okay, I can't just rip somebody off.
Literally,
like,
dog.
I saw this one post on r/game collecting, and it was some dude literally or some store selling a steel copy of Smash 64 for $3,500. I'm like, dude, you can get a loose copy of that for $50. You're not selling it at that price.
Who
it's
cares
like,
that
it was factory sealed back in 1990. I don't care. I don't care,
bro.
Can we be so serious?
It's also where it's like,
real?
Like, unless I really own the game, I'm opening my games. I'm opening my games. Okay?
I'm a big believer in that.
I'm opening them to play them. Like, the only sealed copy I have is Sly 1, and it's because my friend got it for me for my birthday, and I was like, I just want to keep this intact.
Yeah.
You know, it's sentimental to me. And I'm also like, I can play Sly 1 at any time through many different ways. So, but like, I've never gotten because I got the Fire Emblem Collector's Edition, and some parts of it were still sealed, and I was like, well, I want to open it and look at this thing.
Exactly.
So I'm unwrapping it.
That's what I'm saying. The only sealed games I have are games that I bought that I haven't played yet, but I plan to play at some point. You know what I'm saying? And they're literally all just Switch games too. Exactly, dude. It's just like, play your games to play them. Wear your shoes to wear them.
Literally, bro. Like,
because people will be like, he's creasing them. No.
Yeah.
Like, dude. You creasing them one time isn't gonna do that much to like. Just be conscious when you're wearing like. Obviously, we all got our beat ups. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all got
just a beater pair.
But every shoe progresses to that, man.
It's gonna get there.
Don't be
Dude,
scared.
It's
man.
like people in the manga space be like, I can't read it if the pages are yellow. First of all, bro, they're only yellow like on the sides most of the time, and even if they are, it's like, dog, this is wood. Yeah. It's paper is made out of wood. Do you expect it to not oxidize? Yeah, what do you want?
It's gonna happen.
Chill out.
I can't
like,
read
dude,
it.
people will be like, okay, so like, people on r/manga, so I'll be like, sold in a home where these guys were kept on a shelf in a darker room away from direct sunlight. And I'm like, hey, I appreciate that. That's cool,
Dude, like,
but like,
who cares?
20 years from now, all of these are going to be yellow no matter what you do, unless you're literally a museum. So chill out. It's fine, y'all. It's okay.
I'm gonna invest in museum type lighting. I'm a systems engineer. I can figure out a way.
Got to get the little fog machine
the building
too.
automation. It'll work. I'll automate a room in my home slowly so I can keep it up.
There you go. That'll be the garage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's funny.
Easy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's.
I said, no, babe. I thought we could sleep in the living room and we could use the master bedroom for the gaming room.
I already told Lizzie that, hey, the game room's gonna have the most money put into it.
Talk to me nice.
You say, listen. Think about this, right? IKEA bed frame, but climate-controlled display cases for the PS2 games. Now we're cooking.
Anytime I want to play my thing, it just lowers the thing and goes. I'm like, oh, okay.
What we gonna food up today?
Eeny, meeny, this.
Eeny, meeny, slide 3. Oh man, dude.
Can't wait for my kid to be like, oh yeah, this is all cool. Anyway, I'm gonna go play on my phone or something. It's like, okay.
Okay, Dad. Video games are cool, but when are you gonna come play sports outside with me?
Oh, Wii Sports. We can play that.
But yeah. All right. Moving forward, we're going to hit you guys with our end of show games.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
we
sir.
got, pause menu of the day, praise or raise, what you've been playing lately, and just we're gonna be plugging our socials.
Let's get it, baby.
But yeah, so we got our pause menu of the day.
Ooh, let's see it.
Our pause menu of the day is from The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Oh.
So there's been no specific video that's just showcasing the pause menu. Many people don't really consider it a pause menu because, like, there's inventory, blah, blah, but, like, you're pausing the game. It's a pause menu. So I have this still image up for us right now. Everyone who's played Breath of the Wild knows that you can cycle through the adventure log, your settings, etc. But, like, I don't know. How do we think about what do we think about this?
First thing that jumps to my mind is I can remember all the sounds that the menu makes.
Yes.
And I like that. I love that, honestly. Yes. Okay. So the animation of Link on the side is one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
I really love that. Anytime
Kind of
the game,
like God of War, like kind of like
Loki?
Kratos is on the side. And you
Yeah. One thing that I've loved, I've seen done recently is we gotta put this on here. But Spider-Man 2's pause menu, where when you're selecting through the skills and it swaps between Miles.
Dude,
like,
I know.
Miles will rotate behind Peter, and Peter will rotate behind Miles if you're selecting the two of them. And I'm
that's dope.
so
I
hard.
love that.
And like it's for both of them too. Like if you're doing suits, like they'll just both stand there and then they'll switch. But like if you're doing like their action shots, like their skills, they'll like actually like jump and do them, and like they'll jump out of the way.
So
like,
cool.
I was like, yeah, Insomniac cooked with this one. But talking about Breath of the Wild, I came across it because I was like, oh, like what do people consider to be some of the best pause menus? And they said Breath of the Wild. And because it's so easy to cycle through pretty much everything.
It is, man.
It's really
and
intuitive.
it doesn't completely break the immersion because you still have Link on the side.
Exactly.
Reacting to everything that you're doing.
Now that you say that, some pause menus are low-key convoluted and kind of wonky.
A little busy,
Yeah. And I don't know if I'm gonna say it takes the immersion out, but it is just sometimes frustrating until I get used to it. It takes me.
And then I think a lot of the ones that tend to be a little bit clunkier for me are usually like strategy games. If I'm playing like like a turn-based tactics game, sometimes it can be a little bit much where it's just like, especially when they want to let you do a lot of customization, it's just like, okay, like, I don't like it when I need a tutorial to learn how the menu works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With Breath of the Wild, though, when it's
There's
just
no
like
tutorial with that.
no tutorial, it's all
It's very
icons that are
self-explanatory.
really recognizable. I love how like it'll tell you, oh yeah, this weapon is getting close to breaking, or this is how many hearts you'll get off of this piece of food, or
Yes.
stuff like that, or like, oh yeah, this one's gonna give you this buff for this amount of time because you made it with this ingredients, and I'm like, oh, so I gotta add more pepper so I can get more cold resistance.
That's a big thing too. 'Cause
There
it was
we
just like,
go.
Oh, like you buff the heat. I'm like, okay, I have no idea how.
But
I
like
made
for
that.
how long and
Yeah.
how and why? Because I was really just throwing stuff together so I could hear the song. Let me be real.
I felt so bad because like I knew people were just like, oh yeah, this recipe works for this. I'm like, you guys are making recipes.
That's what I'm saying. I was like,
I'm just throwing stuff together.
I was like, wait a minute, meat, salt,
All the,
butter. Ah!
that's probably relates to real life because I'm still learning how to like really cook.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen, you're getting there. You're getting there. As soon as you
Okay,
add butter
sorry.
and salt to almost anything, you're already cooking. Add garlic to anything,
there.
you're already doing
GG's,
amazing
yeah.
right there. Garlic is a cheat
He's
code, bro. I'm
already,
telling
yeah.
you.
Um,
But dude, I
Yeah.
really, really like, and also the fact that like you can go between your personal menu and then your system stuff, and then like everything. And then you can do all the stuff on the Sheikah slate too. Everything's just kind of right there. And what you push is it the trigger buttons? I want to say the transition
It's a
between all of
plus.
them. Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
the trigger buttons transition between
Sheikah
everything
slate
in-
and link stuff and like your systems and everything. I really like
Yeah.
how it's all there, and it's just like I didn't have to really think about it. And that's what I liked about a lot of the systems around Breath of the Wild. It's like my one of my first memories with that game was getting into one of the first shrines, right? It's where you get the magnet thingy. And because I was playing on my TV with the Joy-Cons, I was like, wait a minute. When I picked this up, it wobbled a little bit. Do you mean like, and you can literally use like the motion controls to move stuff around?
Ooh.
That's how I killed one of the little guardians in there. I was like, can I smash him with the big metal door? You can smash him with the big metal door, literally. And it's stuff like that
I
that
would do
like
things where it's like I'd wait for the goblin to come near me, and I go.
see, and it's just like
Nice.
stuff that you didn't have to think about, but you're like, oh, it would make sense to do that.
Yeah.
That's what shows some really good game design, and for the pause menu, really good UX UI design.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like crisp. Visual language is on point. You know
It does
exactly what
yep,
you're getting into.
everything you need.
Even if there was no words on that screen,
Yeah.
I would still know what's going on. How many games can say that?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at
You
that.
can get rid of inventory, eventual log, blah blah
Exactly. No
You
words.
could just
and I
this part and
still
just be
know
like,
what's going
okay,
on.
yeah.
2 hearts? Easy.
blah. Yeah,
Two
2
hearts,
hearts?
Two hearts.
Easy. That's it.
That's it,
Yeah.
man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I'd honestly give that one like a 10. I'd
Yeah.
give that one a 10.
Yeah, extremely
I'll give it a 10,
intuitive,
yeah.
right
Give it a
there. You know what? I'll
There-
give
it
it.
has
I'll
no
give it.
flaws.
I'll give it a 9.5 because there are some other ones that I've seen that have a.
Basically the 10.
It's
Yeah.
basically the 10, but it could be maybe a little saucier. We talked last episode. We talked about the P5 one Persona 5 and the sauce that's oozing from that
The
menu,
sauce
bro.
there is, yeah.
Woo. I'm telling you,
Yeah, maybe add some transitions a little bit. where it's
exactly
like
something
it's
like that. You know, I don't know, but
Yeah.
very, very good though. Very good.
All right. Praise or raise? Praise and raise. Not praise or raise. Praise and raise.
I want to let you go first because I've been talking a lot.
A praise, I would just probably say kind of like how the world just kind of came together for just celebration of Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
I'd
That's why
probably
we're
say
praising
that.
you guys. The world.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm really loving these last couple weeks. It's kind of got inspired me to, watch Dragon Quest eventually, and or not Dragon. To what is it? I think Sandland.
Yes, there's a demo for that on Steam, by the way.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I
Get
need
on
to
that.
And just his older stuff. That he put. He
I
made.
need to read Dr. Slump and Arale and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
I was just putting stuff in my Crunchyroll. I'm like, we'll get to that. A raise. Let me think. I don't know if I have a raise. I'm trying to think. Have I had a gripe?
I can do mine if you wanna.
Yeah,
you wanna
you
wait
can
to
do
think
yours.
about yours. As far as praise, easy. Capcom. One, that sale on Steam right now is amazing. Second of all, Dragon's Dogma 2 came out today as of recording. That's what my evening is gonna be.
Yeah.
That's the majority of what my evening is gonna be. That's gonna be my gaming time for like the rest of like this month and like going into a lot of April. look, I don't know if I want to like grind this game out or if I want to take my time with it because there's other games I want to play. Because the freaking Princess Peach game comes out tomorrow, and I want to play that too. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Stellar Blade comes out the first half of April, and I want to play that.
low-key grind
you
it
know
out.
what I'm saying?
But like,
So
take your
like,
time though. If
I'm
you
gonna
need
take my
to.
time with it. I think it's gonna be insanely fun. I've been avoiding so many spoilers about it. After that first 2 trailers, I was like, you got me.
The first one
I'm
sold
hooked.
me.
I was like, you got me. We got new Arisen.
Them classes
We got
is
new
serious.
Dragon.
Yeah.
New classes. New new races. Okay, you got me there. We're hooked. We're gonna be there. Capcom's doing it again. We got that little thing for the Monster Hunter 20th anniversary announcement.
I did see that.
No, we're getting more about
that.
Wilds later this year, dog. I'm telling you, Capcom is killing it. And also, didn't we talk about how like they're one of the only companies that does like retro game collections?
Yes.
Again, dude, like they're doing everything that I want right now. Love me some Capcom. Thank you, y'all. We need more of that. If I had to pick up a raise, you know what? I'm gonna say, I think, and I don't know if this is more general, but I think it's weird that we haven't seen a Lego game in a minute since the Skywalker Saga. Because as we were talking about like games from like the earlier generation, I was like, there used to be a new Lego game, low-key, around the corner all the time.
I think the Skywalker Saga took a lot of resources.
I think it really
they put
did.
a lot.
They put a ton. That game is amazing. Don't get it twisted. Like they put a ton in there. But I'm like, hey, whatever project you want to do next, I'm trying to get back on that because it was something.
It only
special.
came out like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, exactly. Yeah. But you know, it's just like it wasn't like there was a huge gap in between Lego Star Wars 1, Lego Star Wars 2, Lego Star Wars 3 Complete Saga, Lego Batman 2, Lego Indiana Jones. You know what I'm saying? They were really coming. Even when I really wasn't into them, I was like, yo, there's a Lego Incredibles game. Don't know who asked for this, but it's here. There's like there's like 3 Lego Marvel games because there's Lego Marvel 2, and then Lego Avengers. I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying? There's like the 3 Lego Batman games, and then the Lego DC Villains game out there too, dude. Lego has not stopped making games, so I'm like, hey, whatever y'all want to do next, we could. I know they made the Ninjago movie game. If you want to give me a Ninjago show game, now's the time. We have a whole new set of characters now. Please, so yeah, give me more. That's all I'm saying. Just give me more.
I'd say my praise definitely goes to the 6th generation of consoles, specifically the PS2, because I've been doing a lot of research. Actually, the PS2 and the Dreamcast. So if you wanted a specific for those, because I've been doing a lot of research in terms of retro gaming and just looking back at it and being like, man, like, is there anything Sony did wrong with this system? Because it was a DVD player. It launched at a very affordable price, especially for its time period. And they made really good games. I feel like it's very underestimated how easy it was to be like, all right, like, do you want to come over and watch this movie, or we can play this game?
Literally,
and it'll be as easy as swapping the discs. And that's just, that's good.
Also, Loki, some of the most intuitive controller design of that generation too.
Oh yeah, the DualShock. I mean, it was so intuitive they kept it for 3 generations.
Literally.
And the Dreamcast too, where I've been doing a lot of research into Sega and how, like, I've mentioned before on the pod how the Saturn is very interesting to me, but sometimes it just disappoints me how it killed the Dreamcast, because the Dreamcast is truly a marvel of technology. It's incredible. The memory cards we talked so much about, their memory cards were interactive. They had these things called VMUs, visual memory units. Yeah. And same way you had Tamagotchi stuff or whatever. Yeah. Like you could literally take your memory card out, bring it to school, and play it on the bus and the train.
Oh, that's hard.
No way.
Sega, they were
know that.
In a way, Sega's rent was due, and it was. They were like, let's make a really awesome system. And the Dreamcast is just awesome. You know, we got Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, you know, Space Channel 5 and stuff, like Odd Taxi, like, you know, Jet Set and Grind, as it's called now, or Jet Grind Radio or whatever. It was a great system. And, you know, every time I think about retro gaming, even though, like, I didn't have a billion games going up for some of these systems, like, I just look back and I'm like, they killed it, man. Yeah. They killed it.
They did not goof around.
Yeah. My raise goes to, you know, sealed ceiling agencies like WAPBA or whatever, because I just think it's just dumb how you have to pay someone money and send your game to someone and be like, oh yeah, you really didn't open this. Yeah, it's unopened.
So crazy.
Because I was on the Sly subreddit and somebody graded their copy of the Sly comic issue 2, which 1 is very hard to come by, and 2 they got like a 7.0 for it. So it wasn't like those 9 point whatever's. Yeah, it wasn't one of those 9 point whatever's though, so I didn't see a point in it. But I just think it's just dumb. And so many people are asking him like, well, what do you want to do when you want to read it? He's like, oh, I'll just go online and read a illegal copy or whatever. And I was like,
bruh.
Okay, like, yeah, sure.
Let me not enjoy the thing I own.
I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever floats your boat. But like, I don't know. I just find it dumb. Like, I wouldn't do that personally. So, but yeah,
that's real. I guess my only raise is like, now I'm thinking about just having more like ads that like entice me to play more games. Because like I've been into this era where like I'm starting to go on YouTube and like I'm starting to find more gems because of YouTube trailers.
When people will give you like or like people who give you like lists of obscure games or whatever, I love stuff like that.
And I would just like I would go in there, I'm like, oh, this is kind of raw, and I wish it kind of like was played
like that one trailer for that robot game that I put in the Discord, that Megaton Musashi. I'm like, dog, where's this been my whole life?
Exactly.
This is a franchise?
Just stuff that like stuff like that. Like I wish I would know more about it. So I was like, I don't know. I wish more companies kind of like take their advertising more seriously because their games can low-key make or break a game. So
literally,
yeah.
Even showing gameplay can be all that you need to really sell me.
Yeah.
Like again, I want interesting ads like we had before. But again,
a lot of times some companies just rely on the word of mouth thing. Like I think about Sonic Frontiers a lot and how like the demo like looked really underwhelming. Yeah. And then Moist Critical played it and was just like, oh wow, it's actually really good. And people like started buying it. Yeah. So all right. So we're gonna move on. So what have you been playing recently? Kelechi, what have you been playing recently?
Whole lot of Slay the Spire.
Yes. That game has me in a chokehold, bro. I'm sorry.
I think I have like 25 hours in that game. I have been grinding that game.
Which class have you been playing? The red one, the green one, the robot one, or like the staff lady?
I have been playing the red one a lot. I'm on Ascension 2.
I've been doing him too. Yes, bro.
I'm trying to get
strength builds are so fun.
I know. I've been trying to get into a different one just because like I want to make certain builds work, and I'm like, it's not working.
Literally, that's what I'm saying, bro.
It works, and I don't know. I've just been like trying different ones. Like now, I just started trying the green one and like the poison build.
Yes, like, poison is so fun. Listen, I'm telling you, poison's great. But when you get shivs.
I know.
Ooh.
I know.
You get double upgraded accuracy, and then when you're just like throwing shivs at throwing crazy damage, you get the one that does like the one card that'll do like 8 damage for every attack you've played this turn.
I had that. one.
And then when you there's this relic right called Unceasing Top. Whenever you have no cards in hand, it'll draw you one. And if you can get that with some of the cards, it'll be like, oh yeah, you discard a card to get energy.
Yeah.
It's over, bro. It's so good.
He has so many options.
Silent is so fun.
Yeah, Silent is tough. But I've also is that all I've been playing? I think there's one more. I'm about to play Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. I'm gonna sit down and grind that game because I just started getting into the Final Fantasy genre. It's peak. It's gas. I should have been. I should have been doing this. It is phenomenal, but I'm just off to fit 16, and I know it's Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII is people say it's the best one. It's one of the best games. Period. Cool. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna grind it out. I'm gonna give my opinions and takes on it. But
looking forward to that.
I'm very excited to play that. So,
let's get it, baby.
Oh, yeah. So I've been playing Sly 2. I just replayed through Sly 2 and finished it up. It was great. I would say that it was for a purpose, though. I have been trying to get into replaying games specifically for a purpose. And if you want to know what that purpose is, check out my YouTube channel tomorrow.
Ooh.
So there's that. And I've been testing a lot with the games I've been picking up recently. So I've been doing a lot of GameCube collecting. So stuff like Mario Power Tennis, Metroid Prime. I just got Star Fox Adventures and Mario Toadstool Tour today. Just like, and Shadow the Hedgehog. Just like, random stuff I can find that's like, below the $30 mark right now.
So real.
But so it's just honestly just been stuff like that. But Sly 2 has kind of been the one game I played from start to finish recently. So
I love that. And yeah, like Kelechi said, Slay the Spire has had me in a chokehold, bro. Listen, I'm on Ascension 6 with Ironclad, Ascension 6 or 7 with Silent. I'm on Ascension 9 with the Defect. The robot guy is really fun. I've been goofing around with the Staff Lady. Stances are really, really interesting. Definitely check her out when you have time. It's like a lot of like timing how you want to play out your turns. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. That one's really, really fun. Other than that, I finally got all the PS Vita games that I really, really want.
Oh,
I got Persona 4 Golden. I got Muramasa. I got Odin Sphere. I got Dragon's Crown. I got Freedom Planet. I got Freedom Wars. How much money in total?
Yeah, like for that haul, I guess.
As far as like what I've like spent or like.
Or, I mean, your most recent pickups.
My most recent pickups? Oh, yeah, that's going to be like, I got like, what, Persona 4 for like $30 on Mercari, something like that.
Okay.
The most expensive ones definitely was Soul Sacrifice Delta. That was $110.
Okay.
Because like, Soul Sacrifice Delta is like Soul Sacrifice, which you can get for like $30, but they added more things. But I don't think they printed that one as much in the West. You know what I'm saying? So you can get the original Soul Sacrifice, but Delta is the original plus a bunch of the stuff they wanted to put into the game. So that one's a lot more rare. So I got that one for like $110. I got like Muramasa for like I want to say around $70, which wasn't too bad.
Okay.
I got an absolute steal on Odin Sphere though. On eBay, I got it and the art book for $45.
Huh.
When Odin Sphere alone goes for like $100 most times, I was apparently the only person who bid. Even the seller was like, "Bro, you got insanely lucky, dog, dude." So that's like one of my favorite cops right now. Just like having that because it's just like the Vita is just such an interesting little system to me. Where like when I first like picked it up, when I actually like got one, I was like, "Dude, like." Man, this feels really nice to have and hold, and all the stuff that's in here just works really well.
It's a really good system.
It's a really good system, dude. Like, this is nice, and there's like, there's so many games too. I'm like, dog, like
Library Loki gas underrated.
Even when I started getting into the Atelier series, I was like, there's Atelier games on here too. There's Lego games on here too. There's really good RPGs on here too, dude. They were cooking with the Vita.
RPG machine.
Listen, in the same way that the Switch is like the indie machine, yo.
You can low-key tell when the system is really good, depending on which machine the RPGs side with.
Yeah, dude. So, they were not playing with the Vita. So I'm like, I've been playing Vita games on and off here and there in my spare time, just like really enjoying the fact that I have them. Muramasa probably is going to be the one that I like eventually sit down to beat. Although, like, I think it might get ousted by Persona 4 because I've been wanting to play Persona 4 for a while, and I didn't want to play it until I had it on the Vita. Because I know that it's on Steam. I know that it's been there. They're probably going to do a remake for it like they did with Persona 3, which I really want
to play Persona 3. Amazing. That's going to be my first one. First Persona game. I'm telling you that right now.
Yes, brother. I'm telling you. But, like, since I started at 5, I was like, you know what? We're just going to work backwards. I'm going to do 4, then I'm going to do 3. So I'm really, really excited to play 4 Golden. And like I said, I'm going to be playing a lot of Dragon's Dogma 2 come literally tonight.
Peak Dogma 2.
Literally, dude, this year for games,
man, my wallet is
that's what I'm
being
saying,
emptied out, man.
I had to slow down. Cause,
literally, listen, bro.
One good thing about eBay, of course, is you know sometimes you can negotiate. And you know when the seller sends me an offer, sometimes I'm like, that's pretty good. So I got an offer for Crash 3 really recently, and I was like, I want it, but I'm
literally, dog.
Yeah.
The way that I'll have to be like, all right, I want this game. All right, how much is it going for on most times? Can I pick it up realistically at a decent price? Okay. Maybe I don't need this right now. Because, bro, I would be like, oh, shoot, I forgot that collection of this RPG series published by NIS America was on Switch. That's like $30 on Amazon. Maybe right now. No, it's still going to be $30 like 2 weeks from now. Chill out. It's fine. We're going to be okay. Not going to die. Right in there with the... I know of... There's this creator, I think her YouTube channel is Orbaology. Her name is Amanda. She's really, really cool. And I think she did a video about budgeting for games that I probably should sit down and at least watch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really love seeing like the way that different people in different walks of life approach games. I think she's currently pursuing a PhD right now, but like gaming is one of her like bigger hobbies. But like I'm telling you, dude, I love that. But it's just like I don't really like budget as much as I'm just like, can I like responsibly spend this much money now? Sure, let's go for it. Yeah. Unless if it's something that I know is a good deal. Like I remember picking up Disgaea 4 on Switch at like a GameStop. Closer to Cleveland, I want to say like a few months ago. I was like, okay, it's $40 here. Do I really need this? Let's see how much it's going on Mercari. $80 on Mercari? I guess we'll pick this up right now, you know? Yeah. So it's just like, but yeah, just having fun, trying to be a responsible adult.
Okay.
Good games, all that good stuff.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for jumping into
another good episode
podcast with us. You guys want to plug in your socials that people know where they can find you?
Yeah. Instagram, you can follow me there. It's KCOKECHUKWU, the number 2. It's pretty long, but you'll get it.
Real. You can find me at Pick Up the Sword on Instagram. Like I usually say, all you'll find there is like pictures of me and my girlfriend. Abby's amazing. Go follow her, please. She's great.
All right, and you can find me on my YouTube channel, GonashX, GONASHX, and also my Twitter because that's coming back now. Third OOO. But
let's get it.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Pause Menu. I've been your host. It's been a blast. Go play some games. See you guys.
Peace out, y'all.
Yes.